I think you're wrong about why talk therapy doesn't work for you. Disclaimer, none of this is me saying that finding the right kind of talk therapy for you is easy or even possible. Nor am I saying that talk therapy is the best solution for everyone or even anyone. But I hear a lot of autistic people and like burned out gifted kids say that talk therapy doesn't work for them because they have too much intellectual understanding about what their issues are, that like their therapist has nothing to offer them because they already like know all the answers, and end up in this dynamic with their therapist where the therapist is just like praising them for being so insightful and good at therapy. The research shows over and over that the biggest indicator of success in therapy is the relationship between the client and the therapist. Regardless of methodology, regardless of diagnosis, the relationship, the connection between the client and the therapist is the determining factor in the success. If you think that talk therapy is not working for you because you understand your problems too well, I think you misunderstand what talk therapy is for. It's not like a doctor's office and you go in and this person assesses you and figures out what's wrong with you, and then we like go back into the world with a solution. Especially when we're talking about these deeply ingrained issues that are developed over decades, issues that autistic people, burned out gifted people have, that come over years and years of being misunderstood and unseen, of being expected to achieve and expected to know what's going on all the time. Understanding that you have had too much pressure put on you doesn't resolve the issues that that pressure has caused. And diagnosis may very well be a part of the therapeutic process, and your insurance company will certainly want it to be, but therapy is not a diagnostic process. The therapy is the treatment. It's not an investigation. It is a process of being in relationship with this person in a way that addresses those issues over time. And I think it's scary to understand that that is the point of therapy, because it feels so out of control, because you can't manufacture that kind of connection and relationship with your provider. It really does end up being so much like luck of the draw, especially in this economy and the expense of an intake session and the unlikelihood that your insurance is going to want to cover you hopping around from therapist to therapist to therapist. Don't get me wrong, sometimes my therapist will read me like a book and it is effective. But as a late diagnosed autistic person with complex trauma, the reason that our therapeutic relationship is successful is that I feel safe with her to explore what will happen if I don't have the answers. I feel safe enough with her to tell her, I think you're wrong. I don't think you're reading this correctly. Basically, what I'm saying is having the answers about why you are struggling the way you are is probably going to be an important part of the process, but it is not the process in and of itself. And thinking that your therapist being unable to offer you new insights about why you are struggling, thinking that that means they can't be an effective therapist for you, is misinformed. And I think it's really scary to admit that what we need from a provider is care. I think it's really scary to admit that what we need is not answers and information, and that what we need is a space to be vulnerable and to be accepted regardless of how that vulnerability plays out.